just watching those videos of them driving down the road, it looks kind of like Armageddon on either side of the road there. So it's got to be a little wild to be driving through that.
Has to be. Tough to believe. And we actually have something that's unusual for our area. A dense smoke advisory is issued for that part of I-12. So want to show you the map and outline this. It only goes until 1 a.m. tonight, but think of it as driving through dense fog. Same rules apply. Your visibilities could be below a quarter mile, so you'll need to use your low beams. You'll notice Covington, Slidell included in this, essentially all the way to I-59 and a little bit further near that Lacombe exit and then back towards the North Shore. So something to keep in mind if you are driving in this area here shortly at 10:15. We've got a little while to go on that, but as Whitney mentioned, also a red flag warning as we look to tomorrow, and this is going to be from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. because of a combination of that extremely dry air and then the significant winds. So we continue with no burning across the North Shore and South Shore all the way beyond Baton Rouge and then over to the Mississippi Gulf Coast as well. Also a small craft advisory because of these winds that's issued until noon on Monday. So of course all day today you've probably stepped outside and thought, my goodness, it's so windy. That's really our big story at the moment. And we continue to have some gusts into the upper 20s in Kenner, upper 30s at the lakefront, and then 20s in Belle Chase. Otherwise, our sustained winds are finally starting to calm down on the North Shore, which is a good sign, especially given those conditions earlier. Dew point values showing extremely dry air in place. Anytime you see these numbers in the teens or 20s, that means it is about as dry as it gets around southeast Louisiana. So our temperatures at the moment, of course, significantly cooler on the backside of the front that came through last night, somewhere between the low 40s on the North Shore and the 50s on the South Shore across most spots. The metro pretty much hanging out around 52, Grand Isle at 54, and that's our warmest on the map. Today we reached 63, but it certainly felt a little colder because of the winds with your wind chill, but certainly a big difference from the last 3 afternoons with record highs. So we'll continue with a trend of cooler air tomorrow, topping out in the upper 50s, and then one more cool day before we start to warm back into the 70s. So this cold snap is short-lived. Overnight tonight we'll drop into the 40s on both sides of the lake, and then eventual 30s will return. So you'll be waking up tomorrow to above freezing conditions that are still cold, but not requiring any cold weather preps. As we get into the 7 a.m. time frame, plenty of sunshine back, and again, those winds, the big story. So we'll continue with this for just the next few days. Again, please avoid outdoor burning of any kind. Even the smallest spark can really take off quickly. And then we'll have these freezing conditions for the North Shore on Tuesday that will require a couple of preps in place. Of course, you heard Whitney mention also the travel concerns for many in the Northeast. You can easily point out here on our water vapor imagery that nor'easter that's been plaguing the Northeast coastline and the much drier air behind it that we've been experiencing here across Southeast Louisiana. So tomorrow, here's a look at our winds. Still going to be pretty considerable as gusts remain anywhere from 20 to 25 miles an hour. The sustained winds at least a little bit less aggressive in the teens. Tomorrow our highs will top out in the upper 50s, just below 60 degrees, and we'll have a lot of sunshine. You're waking up tomorrow to maybe the freezing mark only in Macomb. Otherwise, those 30s with us on the North Shore, upper 30s to low 40s across the South Shore. But Tuesday morning, we are going to have 20s north of the lake in Macomb, Hammond, Covington, Bogalusa, Slidell, and then off towards our river and bayou parishes. We'll be right at that freezing mark itself. For the South Shore, a little bit warmer than freezing. By Wednesday, everybody well above the freezing mark. And same thing into the end of the week. So certainly a warming trend on the way. Tomorrow morning could have a little bit of frost to deal with on the North Shore and in the river parishes. So something to keep in mind. A couple spots up towards Bogalusa and near Picayune dealing with the concern of a freeze, and then it becomes a lot more widespread for Tuesday morning. Pipes, however, will be just fine. On the South Shore, at that point, we might have a little more frost. So here's your checklist. Hopefully we don't have to do this too much longer as we continue with the warming trend into the end of the month as well as early March, which is already a week away. So there's the big drop off for Tuesday morning, and then we are well above freezing heading into the rest of the week, and our rain chances are going to stay minimal. Thursday, we could see a quick passing shower with our next front that comes through, it's not going to be a significant temperature drop off like we were dealing with over this past weekend. And the overall extended outlook is a little more spring-like, warmer as well. So we'll take it. Here's your 7-day forecast. We're less than 2 weeks away from springing forward for daylight saving time again, getting through these next couple days of cooler conditions, and then the 70s are back.
All right, thanks so much.